Good morning, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us in today's online workshop entitled Kaila by Zabala. I am Ivana Almora. I am a Policy and Project Officer here in EURADA, and I will be with you throughout today's event. So I would just like to remind everyone of our house rules. Please make sure that your microphones are muted, and to avoid sound interferences. And we would like to encourage our participants to ask your questions either orally or through the chat box after the presentations have been presented. And most importantly, this session is being recorded for reference purposes. So today's workshop involves an innovative platform that Zabala has created called Kaila. Kaila is a very interesting smart digital services platform, which we will of course get to learn more about through the speaker and videos we have today. Now, I would like to remind everyone that there is the possibility to test the Kaila platform free of charge for 1 week. All you have to do is visit their website and sign up for the free trial. So speaking of their website, I visited it a few days ago, and it was very interesting to find that the platform is really versatile and was designed for corporations, research and development centers, SMEs, public bodies, and associations. They also have a blog section, which really gives insight on the many ways with which to use Kaila. But of course, we will really get into that today with our first speaker, who will tell us more about the Kaila platform and how it works. We will then get to watch a video detailing a user's or organization's experience using the platform. This will be followed by a practical demonstration of the platform, and finally, we will have a Q&A session. So to get us started, I'd like to introduce Ms. Aranzazu or Arantxa Albistur. Arantxa holds a PhD in Industrial Engineering from the Public University of Navarra and is an expert in International Business Management from the Polytechnic University of Madrid. She has been working in Zabala since 2009 as a research and development consultant, and in recent years, she has collaborated with many SMEs in the development of their business plans within the SME Instrument Funding Framework. She is an expert on issues of entrepreneurship, exploitation of results, and business plans related to SME Instrument, Fast Track to Innovation, and other European programs. So without further ado, Arantxa, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Ivana, for the presentation. I will share my screen right now. Okay. Okay, can you see the presentation? Yes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ivana, again, and thank you all for attending this webinar. This is a great opportunity for us to introduce you this interesting platform. Okay, firstly, I would like to provide you with context about the origin, the what for, and the why now of Kaila. Okay. Since in Zabala, since our creation, we have worked to promote the innovation of our customers, particularly helping them to develop their innovation ecosystems, primarily through collaborative projects in Europe. Recently, we have witnessed that companies are changing the way they innovate, moving from a model in which all innovation takes place internally towards a model of open innovation in which they integrate external organizations and professionals such as research centers, universities, suppliers, or even competitors, why not? This shift towards open innovation is a consequence of a change in mentality and also the understanding that there is enormous talent out there. Okay, and we cannot ignore it, especially in this complex and dynamic time period that demands agile innovation. This way, organizations can go beyond their internal organizational capacities. Zabala is well aware that digital technologies can enable this paradigm shift, and we aim to help our customers in this exciting process of transformation. In this sense, we have been exploring the opportunities associated with open data processing, the use of advanced machine learning algorithms and big data technologies for some time now. And the final outcome is the launching of this new platform, Kaila. Kaila was born not only to provide support in the building of these innovation ecosystems for organizations, but also, and more specifically, to contribute to all those needs that arise in the innovation process, such as to finance and accelerate their innovation through the scanning of new funding opportunities in the European scene for the projects or lines of research, to analyze and keep updated about the latest technological trends in specific areas of interest for them, and to identify and connect with top innovators all over Europe to collaborate with them. Any type of organization can find value in using Kaila. Corporate, SMEs, NGOs, associations, research centers, universities, and of course public organisms, as mentioned Ivana in the introduction. Each one, from its own perspective, can make a more specific use of the platform to convert all this information we offered in an agile and friendly way into added value. For example, it can be used to attract innovation. In a few clicks, the user has the possibility to detect the best innovators with whom create excellent innovation networks or with whom contribute to generate competitiveness. To find funding opportunities to finance regional development programs, of course, and what is more obvious, one can keep be informed about all funding opportunities open or forthcoming in relation to specific areas of interest. To monitor regional innovation polls by monitoring all those relevant innovation players in certain regions, deploying specific technological areas and aiming at certain markets, or to encourage international cooperation at national or European level. In this sense, it's extremely easy to identify other regions or organisms with similar development strategies or programs, and which can serve as an example, inspiration, or with whom one can cooperate in the short or medium term to promote them. Other type of organizations even find it useful to measure a company's level of innovation or even track the activity of competitors, strengthen collaboration with industry, as Kaila offers an insight into which companies might be interested in specific lines of research, or even encourage innovation among the members of an association, for example, by providing them with the largest R&D network in Europe, segmented by technological areas. That's why we launched Kaila, which is a digital platform to promote open innovation in organizations, helping them to create and manage their innovation ecosystems at European level, and of course, to accelerate their innovation. The platform is foreseen to have 3 modules in the short term. Now we are launching the first one, Kaila Analytics, which will enable you to analyze technological trends, as I mentioned before in the previous slide, to identify innovation opportunities to finance and accelerate your projects, programs, or lines of research, to find disruptive projects in Europe, those financed or funded by European programs, and to identify innovative organizations to collaborate with. These specific functionalities will be demonstrated later on in practice in the time slot dedicated to the online demo in a few minutes. Okay. And what is behind Kaila? Kaila integrates many open data sources in a friendly and intuitive way, all of them up to now European, and this will bring you important advantages such as saving time in your searches and analysis, as Kaila provides you with a single access to different data sources, so this optimizes your search process. Help in your decision-making processes, as Kaila provides you with contextualized information through attractive graphics, thus facilitating the decision-making process. And finally, through the generation of automated reports through just one click. So Kaila allows you to share relevant information with your teams in an agile way. These figures are the figures related to the funding opportunities, projects, and innovators you can find up to now in the platform. Every week, we keep on updating these databases, so these figures increase progressively. Okay. And as I mentioned at the beginning, we are working in launching soon 2 additional modules. Kaila-wise, thanks to this new module, the platform will offer you advanced recommendations based on your personal experience, your interest and activity through the platform. And in the last term, Kaila Connect, that will allow you to work directly with people of your interest at a European level to solve problems related to innovation. This is the last mile in the process of building innovation ecosystems. The aim is that you can find entities to collaborate with and join forces to innovate. Thanks to Kaila Connect, it will be possible to establish contact with these entities. These modules are foreseen to be launched this year. In short, it's very useful, an intuitive tool which allows you to identify innovative entities, find out what are they doing and with whom they are collaborating with, and the money they are receiving from the European Commission. Kaila is a consequence of our firm belief that the future of innovation in organizations necessarily involves open models. And when we want to dynamize to help organizations to expand their ecosystems by establishing these new connections with other organizations. So we encourage you to register and try it out, all the features and potential of the platform. Of course, any feedback will be welcome. And talking about feedback, if we have gone ahead with this new project, it's because of the very positive feedback we have been receiving from our different users since we launched it. So I would like to highlight ETF, who said that Kaila is simply easy to use and low cost, and it significantly improves the consultation of different databases such as Cordis and allows us to be more productive. This is the more outstanding description about Kaila from ETF. I'm going to let you a video that shows this user experience of the platform during these months. But before, I would like to mention other types of organizations at European level already trusting us. For example, Red Eléctrica de España, responsible for the electricity activities in Spanish territory, EDP Energy in Portugal, Mondragon Corporation, regional government in the north of Spain, government of Navarra, pharmaceutical laboratory leader in Spain, FINFA, Ikerlan, leading knowledge transfer center in Spain, Soner, Anelon, etc. And now I stop sharing my presentation in order you can see the video of ETF that my colleague is going to share. Okay, thank you.
EDF monte chaque année une vingtaine de projets du programme Horizon 2020 et nous avons ressenti le besoin d'avoir accès aux projets qu'on pouvait considérer comme précurseurs de ceux auxquels on voulait répondre. La plateforme Kaila nous a permis d'accéder facilement à des projets qui ont répondu à des appels qui ressemblaient à ceux qui nous intéressaient. Notre objectif était extrêmement simple. Il s'agissait de donner à tous les collaborateurs du bureau de Bruxelles, voire à certains chefs de projet à Paris, un outil à la fois simple et efficace leur permettant d'identifier des projets ayant répondu à des appels à projets voisins de ceux que nous visons. Alors jusqu'à présent, EDF utilisait, et en particulier la R&D d'EDF utilisait la base Cordis, soit sous la forme de la base de données, soit sous la forme d'une extraction Excel, et la consultation de ces données était extrêmement pénible. Et donc la plateforme Kaila nous a permis de simplifier et de rendre plus efficace la consultation des données fournies par cette base Cordis. Kaila, c'est simple, facile à utiliser et bon marché. Ce qu'apporte Kaila à EDF, c'est l'extrême simplicité de l'accès à la base Cordis, voire à d'autres bases maintenant, à la base des projets régionaux, voire à la base des projets LIFE. Donc c'est l'extraordinaire simplicité et l'ergonomie de l'interface qui nous intéresse le plus. Alors cette plateforme nous intéresse beaucoup, elle intéresse beaucoup EDF, parce qu'elle nous permet des gains de productivité significatifs et l'accès à des personnes qui n'auraient pas le courage ou la ressource pour utiliser des bases très rébarbatives comme Cordis. Bien sûr, EDF va continuer à utiliser cet outil et non seulement va continuer à l'utiliser, mais on va très probablement étendre l'usage de cet outil à d'autres entités que le centre de recherche d'EDF.
Thank you, Leire, for the video. Maybe I can start with the practical demo. Ivana, what do you think? Yeah?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay, I'm going to start again with you. Okay, so now I would like to guide you through a quick trip through the platform in order to show you all the functionalities and all the potential the platform can offer you. And well, before starting, I would like to mention that we are in a quite strange and complicated period in the sense that we are just closing Horizon 2020 and we are waiting for the next program to be open. So it will not be possible to see a lot of open calls and so on. So in this sense, it will not very useful in this sense. Okay, this is the homepage of Kaila. It's quite easy to register. In just a few minutes you can start using the tool. So we can go directly to the login, and this is the front page of the tool. I like to say that we have two different ways of using the searcher. We can search by keyword, by area of interest, technological area, etc. And we can directly search for organizations. So let's start with the area box, search box. Here we have some tips to use the searcher. We can look for aggregated results. Okay, we can use the quotes to search for specific words or phrases. We can use or type "or" to add different terms or exclude others. Okay, so for example, let's type big data. And in the first place, we have a summary panel of all the information we can find into the platform. Okay, first of all, we can see some information related to the funding opportunities in relation to the term we have we typed. Okay, big data in this case. Here we have a timeline with all the money budgeted in relation to this area of interest, and the money finally allocated to projects in relation to this area of interest. We can click on the legend to see the data more in detail. Okay, here we have the funding program distribution, how this money have been distributed into the different programs, pillars, etc., and the status of the funding opportunities. In this case, almost all of them are closed, as I mentioned before, and just one is open. But we could also see here the forthcoming calls in relation to big data. Here we have all the topics related to big data. In this tab, we have the open ones. We can, every time, we can follow the links to see more in detail the info the platform is displaying. Okay, here we have the open topic in relation to big data, the description of the topic, the timeline, and in this case, the topic is open, so there are no projects and participants receiving funding. Okay. We have the forthcoming. In this case, there is no one because of the period of time we are right now, and the closed ones. The closed ones are also interested for us for various reasons. Maybe we applied to one of these topics and we are interested in knowing who finally won that topic, or we have discovered these topics because it's interested for or is strategic or is aligned with our strategies. So we can follow the link and see the projects funded under this topic, who are the participants receiving money under these projects through this interactive map. The funding received that these organizations received. Anytime we can download all this information in Excel file and follow the links of any project, any innovator, any topic to go more into detail of this information. Okay. So this is a summary of all the information we can find in the funding opportunities section. Okay, if go here, we can find the project section. This is a summary of all the projects funded in relation to big data, which is the keywords we type in the search box. Here we have a timeline with all the projects funded in relation to this topic. Okay, and the info, but in relation to the funded projects by country. For example, we can see here that Germany and Spain funded a lot of projects, okay, in relation to big data. Here we have the list that we can again download whenever we want, and here we have quite an interesting panel in relation to the innovators. Here we have all the innovators, and in this tab we can find the hotspots with the most funding, okay, with the most funded areas in relation to big data. Here we have the same information, but in relation to the number of projects, okay? Hotspots in relation to the number of projects funded in relation to big data. Here we have the coordinators or the projects and where are the participants. These maps are as you can see, are interactive, and you can move through it as you want, okay? And this is more or less the summary panel. The summary panel we can find at the beginning. Then we can move through all the 3 sections as we want. For example, if we click in funding opportunities, we have the long list of funding opportunities in relation to big data. We can use a set of filters in the left side of the page. We can filter by the status of the topics, for example, or by program. For example, if we are searching for topics in relation to big data, but focused in, for example, food, okay, we get a short list instantly that we can again download in Excel, or going through it, clicking on each of them to go in more into detail to read through all the information it can offer, okay? Always we have here some graphs we can explore at any moment. How this budget is distributed among the different pillars, okay? All these graphs are interactive. And this is more or less the funding opportunities section. We can go, for example, to the projects section. Okay. Again, we can search for projects related to big data. Here we have, again, the interactive map with the geography distribution of the granted projects in Europe. We can go through it and explore more in detail in specific regions or countries or whatever. Here we have the distribution along the time of the funding projects in the different countries. Okay, we have here the aggregated graph, but we can explore country by country the funded projects. Okay, and here again we have a set of filters that will help us to refine our search according to our needs. Okay, for example, maybe we are interested in exploring those ongoing and forthcoming projects because I'm interested in technological trends. So if we are talking about trends, I am focusing in the present and future. And again, for example, the area I am interested in is, for example, energy in this case, okay? So we get a shorter list of projects related to our interest. At any time, I'm going to download an Excel in order you can see the format. It's quite it's interesting because any file is you can download from the platform is editable. So this is quite interesting. This is the Excel you get. You can edit, filter, and use as you want. If you follow the link, again, you get the information related to this project, the objective, the organizations involved, who was the coordinator, the status of the project, start date, end date, the budget, funding allocated to this project, and the funding allocated to any of the participants of the project, and where are in the map, okay? And other projects related to this one that could be interesting for us, for example. And okay, it could be also, for example, interesting to search for all those SMEs, investable SMEs that get funding from the EIC, for example, in relation to big data. This is quite simple by using the filters of the work program here. So you get quite an interesting list of SMEs with disruptive projects getting funding from the EIC. Okay. Or for example, you are looking for the most disruptive technologies in relation to big data that will be in the market in 8-10 years. In that case, we would go to the FED program by clicking in the filters, and you get the most disruptive projects that deal with big data that will be in the market in the long term. Okay, this is more or less the, okay, there are other filters. You can filter projects by country or by grant. For example, if you wanted to discard the low budget ones, okay, you can play with these filters and refine your search. And let's move to the last section of the area, which is innovators. This is quite also interesting because the function, the focus or the use you can make of this section is it can be quite different. For example, if you are building a consortium to apply for a topic, you are searching for example, innovators in big data, but you are searching for SMEs because this is a condition for the project, okay? And you are searching in specific countries, for example, Denmark. So you get quite a short list that you can sort by relevance or by project or by grant. For example, projects. I am interested in those SMEs with more projects funded and the European Commission. Okay, pues projects they're sending, and you get quite an interesting list you can download at any moment and go through the innovators page to go into more detail of this organization. You have here information about the accumulated funding of this organization, the number of projects, how many participated, how many coordinated, all the links to the projects, the distribution by program of the funded projects, and the timeline of the funding per month euros get by this organization, who are the collaborators of this organization and the frequency they collaborate with them, the collaborations heat map of this organization. In this sense, this organization has only 2 projects, okay, but later on we will explore this page more in detail, okay, because there are quite interesting details I want to reinforce about this functionality. Of course, you can use these filters. For example, you are searching for you are building in a new innovation pole in your country, okay, and you want to work with research and universities in your country in relation to big data, okay, it's quite easy, and in a few clicks you get all this information, and you know you are looking for top innovators that have received funding from the European Commission, okay, and it's quite easy to access this information in a few clicks, to have it displayed in maps, to have it downloaded in Excel, and okay, to have it sorted them by grant, by project, etc. And I would like to move now to the other section, organizations directory. Here we can type both. We can type the name of the organization, for example, senior, okay, to test an organization with a lot of info there, for example. If we click in the organization, as I mentioned before, we get a lot of information from it, okay? The number of projects which in this case is quite high, the number of projects participated, number of projects coordinated, the number of collaborators, all the info related to the project, the funded projects, okay? The distribution by program that we can again click here to explore more in detail. The average funding per month along the time. Again, we can follow the links at any time to go more in detail into the info related to this project. And here we have the collaborators info. Here you can see the frequency that in this case CNR collaborate with CNRs under the context of the European Commission, under the context of funding projects, okay, and the collaborations heat map. We can also download the Excel related to the collaborators of CNR, and the start functionality here is that we can download in a click a report of the organization. It takes just a few seconds. Here we have. This is the organization report with all the projects distributed by program and work program, the distribution per year of the funded projects and total granted, the status of all these projects, the top 5 collaborators of this organization, the type of collaborators. As we can see, senior usually collaborate with SMEs and private companies, and the location of these collaborators. Then we have the first 50 projects of this organization and short summary of the key indicators of these projects. And the same with the first 50 collaborators of the organization. Okay. This is quite an interesting report with interesting KPIs of the organization that we can get in few seconds. But we can also search for specific organizations in our region, in our country. For example, if I click here Spain and I search for private companies, okay, and we sort them by transcending or whatever, we can extract useful information for statistics purposes or for analyzing specific regions, or okay, the possibilities are enormous here. Okay, and there are another interesting section here that we can download. At this moment, again, it's quite difficult to get long funding opportunities report, okay? But there is still one call open here, and I will take advantage of it to show you the report, okay? If we click here the keywords, we can get in 2 clicks the opportunity report, which has this aspect. Okay, this is the index of the report. In this case, it just has one opportunity. So then we have the detail, the info related to the topic, okay, the description and so on. Of course, we can, I would like to go to the previous one. We can enter different keywords, okay, and we get the aggregated report for those keywords. We also can download the calendar of opportunities. Again, it's just for one topic, but you can get an idea of how it is, which is the calendar, okay, for the main open calls in relation to the topic we entered, in this case, big data. And here, there are another functionalities I would like to show you that are quite interesting. At any moment, we can save alerts in order to keep updated about news in relation to certain topics. Okay, for example, we are using the example of big data during the demo. So we type big data and we can select, okay, alert me about funding opportunities and new projects funded in relation to big data, and please send me an email alert just once a month. Okay, you can save the alert. Okay, I already saved this alert. Okay. Okay, I always use the same. Okay, and you can save the alert. You can remove them, edit them whenever you want. And finally, at any moment, when we get these results from the platform, we can make use of this herd to add specific sites related to funding opportunities, to projects or innovators, and save in a list in a way that we can quickly access through that page to that page without the need of doing the search again. Okay, this is quite interesting also, and this is more or less the quick quick overview of the platform. And all the functionalities we have right now. As I mentioned before, this is Kaila Analytics, and we are planning to keep updating the functionalities in order to launch the next two modules, which are Kaila Ways and Kaila Connect. So maybe I'm going to stop sharing in order that you can ask any question or.
Yes, exactly. I think Arancha, you just showed us the amount of information that we can get through the click of a mouse through Kaila. It's really a lot of information that I think everybody will find useful. Yeah, so we've received a couple of questions for you already. And in the meanwhile, I'd also like to encourage everyone else, if you have other questions, please feel free to unmute yourselves and then ask Arancha the question. So our first question, you talk about innovative community earlier. So how are you going to generate this community?
Yes, this will be through Kaila Connect. Okay, we are very interested in, first of all, in provide value through the analysis of all this information. We are really interested in the users to choose to go through the platform to get the info in order we can know the interest the users have in the info provided by Kaila, and in the next term we want to propose an active platform. Okay, don't just use the platform. The platform will be active, will be proactive, and will recommend you other innovators, other users with same interest as the users. And in the last mile, Kaila Connect will connect those interests among the users in order to dynamize that collaboration, to foster the building of new ecosystems, and this will be through Kaila Connect will be launch it this year, okay? And this is the top target, the top goal of Kaila, which is create a community to build those ecosystems, and always in the basis of added value, okay? This is more or less.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a question from Josep Luis. He says, thank you very much for sharing the platform. And he would like to know if Kaila covers all the EU programs. And if not, do you plan to expand the database?
Yes, up to now, we are covering FP7 or Horizon 2020, LIFE, CEF, Eurostars, and of course, we are constantly updating these databases, okay? And we are planning to regularly keep on adding new databases, always under the umbrella of European Commission, are those that are more interested under the focus of innovation, okay? For example, of course, once that Horizon Europe is published, we will immediately load to the platform, and we are thinking about COSME or Erasmus Plus or Interreg, or okay, we have this in mind, and this is a must of Kaila to keep updating this database, the database of the platform with new ones. Of course, databases related to the results of the project, innovation radar, or at first instance with the thinking about open data sources, but we don't discard the possibility of connecting with other databases that are not open.
All right. So we have more questions from Petros from the Attica region. So he asks, what is the level of completeness of data already uploaded related to various areas? So for example, in the case of tourism, there are very limited forthcoming funding opportunities or projects, and many funding opportunities are showing the status unknown.
Yes, this is quite a strange period of time, because as I mentioned, the Horizon 2020 is closing. There are very few open calls. I think for big data, just one, and now I don't really know how many are open. Okay, but we are waiting for the next. Program to be opened, and more or less, I think in April, we will get a lot of info about forthcoming open calls and so on. So now all the info we can see about open calls, it's very limited, because we are in this interim period that we don't have info to be downloaded from the databases of the European Commission. So I presume that in April we will have a lot of info, not only opened but forthcoming, and this is quite interesting for the organizations in order to make to establish, to planify in the short and long term what are the best funding instruments for our lines of research, for our projects, or whatever.
All right. And in terms of the two upcoming modules, WISE and Connect, how will the pricing be impacted after those modules are launched?
Okay, this is something we have not discussed already at this moment, but our strategy, our business strategy is to keep the price low. So now the price is quite low, it's 29 euros per month, and we firmly believe that we must keep on in this line of pricing model, because our main interest is to increase the community. So if we increase the prices a lot, the community will be lower. But our interest is to have the larger community of innovators in such a platform. So I don't know if we will increase the price with Kaila Wise, maybe not, maybe with Kaila Connect, yes. We don't really know it now, but if it's the positive case that we increase slightly the price, it will be just the increasing won't be significant, okay? Because of that, because we want to make the community increase as much as possible.
And would it be possible for regional agencies to have an enterprise subscription through which they could offer access to the platform to a selected number of companies or organizations in the region that is related to their smart specialization?
Okay, this is we have a third option in the pricing model in the web page that for larger or for packages of licenses, we can module or offer lower prices for the members of the associations or whatever. Okay, this is something we can discuss.
So, okay, so from Mayor, as an association of RDAs, I assume that the largest amongst EURADA's members will be on inter-regional exchange or cooperation. When will the information of the various interreg programs be available on Kaila?
I cannot give you an exact date for that, but this is a key program for us. So this year, probably the first semester of 2021 will be available, because it's one of the programs we are really interested in upload to the platform.
And another question. So what is the story behind the name Kaila? Is it an acronym for anything?
Sorry because of that, because I was not there when the name was decided, but the original name was another one, but mm, uh, I think that there was a story behind that related to the registration of the trademark, something like that. And finally, they decided to change radically the name of the platform and was Kaila, but I don't know the story behind it. I'm sorry.
No, but I mean, I think Kaila is a very catchy name, like Kaila by Zabala. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So another question, in terms of the close calls in your database, how far back does the information go? Is because earlier for big data, 2007 was the earliest year available. So does that year vary depending on the topic or the keyword entered?
Sorry, about the historic data, do you
Yes.
mean? Yes, it's related to the program, okay? Yes, the program. I mean, we have included in the platform FP7 and H2020. So the period of time covered by these programs is the period covered by Kaila. So that's why you get information from so early years.
Okay. And so which function of the platform do you use the most and you find the most unique compared to other maybe similar services out there?
Could you repeat, please?
Which
Sorry.
function of the platform do you use the most? So maybe this is for new users that they would like to immediately get information about something. So what would your tip be to immediately get
Yes.
that overview?
Okay. I am not a standard user of the platform, because I make different uses depending on what I doing in my work. Okay, but I would like, maybe it's more interesting for you to tell you that depending on the type of organization, the use they make of the platform is different slightly. Okay, almost all of the different type of users, including me and my colleagues or within Zabala, etc., is the search of for funding opportunities. Okay, because it's very quick, very agile platform to search for funding opportunities. But for example, private companies, corporations, and SMEs give a lot of value to the possibility of follow or keep updated about the activity of competitors, okay? Or for example, to follow the activity of potential customers, okay? They regularly work with a specific customer, and they can see the research activity of this customer, and they can see updates about this activity, and they can follow the short-term and long-term strategy, innovation strategy of that company. So they can also plan their own strategy in order to fit the customer strategies or whatever. For example, for public organizations, they can have a quick overview of all the organizations panorama of the regions or at country level, for example. Or for building consortiums. Internally in Zabala, this is quite a useful tool, and also for the different organizations, even for research centers. The most difficult step in building a winning proposal is the building of the consortium. So getting so quickly short list of potential partners for that consortium is quite an interesting functionality of the platform. Okay, and because you don't only have the list of potential partners, but also the CV of these organizations, and you can download the reports and share with your colleagues, etc. So depending on who are choosing it, they give more value to one functionality or to another.
All right. So I think we have time for one more question. Final question. If anybody has any other questions. So maybe what is the growth perspective that you have defined for Kaila? And aside from Wise and Connect, are there new features that you have planned for the future?
Yeah, yes, of course. We are working with 15 days planning for updating the platform. Okay, we are always and constantly thinking about which new functionalities could be uploaded to the platform to fulfill the needs and the doubts and the of the users. Of course, we are thinking about making grow the platform in terms of databases. Of course, we are thinking about improving the statistics potential of Kaila Analytics. Okay, we have Kaila Analytics, and we have planned to launch the next two modules, but we want to make Kaila Analytics growth in its functionalities. Okay, this is a lively platform. This is just the beginning, but every 15 days we make the platform better, more friendly for the user, more attractive for the user, and with more functionalities, more filters, of course. There are a lot of possibilities in the different tabs, in the different sections, to keep adding filters, functionalities, graphs, or so. This is just the starting point, and the potential is great. So, and with this way of working of 15 days or 15 days planning. This is an agile way to keep the platform updated and always attractive for the user.
All right. And our final question from Melina, where do you get the data presented in the platform?
Where from did you get the data? From the European Commission, all the open data from the European Commission, Cordis, funding and tenders portal, the databases related to the life, to Eurostars, etc. At the moment, okay, as I mentioned before, we don't discard to add other databases that are now open, okay, because depending on the needs we perceive, okay, during these months, we will consider the possibility of connecting to other databases. But at principle, at this moment, the databases are from the European Commission. Okay.
All right. And with that last question, I believe our webinar has come to a close. So thank you again, Arancha, and also to your colleague Leire for guiding us through this workshop. On behalf of EURADA, I'd also like to thank everyone for joining us and interacting with us this morning. We hope to see you again in one of EURADA's future events. Speaking of which,
Okay.
we will have two sessions during the upcoming Industry Days event. One on the 24th of February entitled Scaling Up SMEs Amidst Corona, and another one on the 25th of February entitled Are You Ready for Industry 4.0? If you are interested in these events, I've shared the link to register in the chat box. So thank you again, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ivana. Thank you all.